right, let's just recap real quick. We've added, we've subtracted, we've multiplied polynomials, we've also factored. The reason I wanted to do it in that way is because it's going to help us in today's lesson, right? Because today we are dividing polynomials. So let's get started. I have decided to just grab problems from Delta Math and that be the foundation of today's lesson. So let's start off with level 1. We've already done polynomial division in Algebra 1, but we are going to recap. I have decided and elected to not do traditional long division. I decided to do box method long division. Okay? Here's why. We've already done factoring by box method. We can multiply using box method. So why not just continue box method with long division? I also want to point out and say there technically is a shortcut to division. We're going to learn about that next class. It's called synthetic division, which can be done in probably less than 10 seconds. But you might end up with questions like this, and you have to know how to tackle them. So let's get started. So we are asked to find the division of 2x cubed minus x plus 1 divided by x plus 1. Well, thankfully, it's already set up for us, right? We have the dividend x plus 1 right over here. And our goal is to try and figure out this section. Which multiplication will give me this result? Okay? Well, let's think about it. Let's start off with our first term, which is this one right here. That's the highest term, so it belongs there. We already have x here. So what times x will give me 2x cubed? Well, that is 2x squared. Yes? Okay, and now let's continue filling in the box method. 2x squared times 1, that's 2x squared. Are we okay so far? Yes, okay. Here's the next question you need to ask yourself. Looking at my result, what it should come out as, this entire piece, do you see anything with an x squared? No. So we have to get something to cancel it. So we know that this has to end up being negative 2x squared in order for them to cancel. Correct? Yes? Well, what times x will give me negative 2x? That is... Sorry, what times x will give me negative 2x squared? That is negative 2x. Right? This will allow for this x squared right here, 2x squared, for this and this to cancel out because we don't have any x squares. And everybody, there's so many iterations of polynomial division. You just need to be looking out for those things. Okay? Well, let's keep filling in the box. Negative 2x times 1, well, that's just negative 2x. Okay? Looking at my answer, I do have an x term here. These need to add up. This one and this and whatever this is going to be needs to add up and give me negative x. Well, the only thing I can think of is just plain x. Well, what times x will give me x? Plus 1. And then 1 times 1 is just 1. So what's my answer to this? 2x cubed minus x plus 1 divided by x plus 1. My final result will be this. This is my answer. So when you're asked to put it into Delta Math, obviously you're going to hit the word try to say if you did it right or wrong. But following this method will allow you to, it's safe proof, right? So we end up with 2x squared minus 2x plus 1. Now, how do you check it? How do you as the individual check it? Put it in the calculator, right? Put it into Desmos graphing, right? as a way to check yourself. The whole point is to wean off of this and gain more mathematical independence, right? So here we go. Someone read out the problem for me, because I obviously don't. Oh, you know what? Hold up. I got this. Let's use technology to my advantage. Apple would be proud of me here. Okay, let's take a look. We have the division of 2x cubed minus x plus 1 divided by x plus 1. X plus 1. Okay, so then in our results, we need to put in what we got, which was 2x minus 2x squared, good, minus 2x plus 1. If they're right on top of each other, we did the division correctly. So believe it or not, even though this might feel like multiplication or factoring like we just did right now, it is absolutely not. We are dividing, okay? All right, I'm going to do another one. For now, so that we can get the hang of it. This is level 1, everybody, so obviously this gets progressively tougher. But following the same pattern, right? We are trying to divide 4x cubed minus 17x squared minus 9x minus 30, all divided by x minus 5. Well, beautiful. Okay, so my leading term is going to go right here. X here times what will give me 4x cubed? Well, that is 4x squared. All right, fill out the rest of the box. This ends up being negative 20x squared. Yes? Okay. Looking at the next term, I have to make it look like negative 17x squared. Well, that means I would have to add 3x squared in order for that to work. Because when they add up together, that gives me negative 17x squared. So what then times x will give me 3x squared? That's just 3x. Fill out the rest of the box. Negative 15x. Beautiful. Looking at the next one over here, the next term, negative 9x. I need negative 15x and something else to add up to negative 9x. Well, that is positive 6x. And then 6, what times x will give me 6x? That's just 6. And then 6 times negative 5, fill out the rest, negative 30. So then what is my answer? 4x squared plus 3x plus 6. Yes, how are we feeling? Seems pretty... right? Everything is finally connecting. We now have a lot of skill set. A lot of the things that we've done have helped us get to this point. All right, let's do this one individually. You do it, I do it. Of course I can.
Oh, okay.
Good? Fantastic. Anyone else? Questions? Okay, let's work on it independently. You work on it, try it. I'm going to work on it up here as well so that you can follow along. Sorry. At least allows you to check your work. Monday. You got it? Does it match what I have up there? Bet. How does everybody feel? It's making a bit sense, right? Long division. In reality, it doesn't really feel like much work, right? Because in the last one, you had to come up with the sides. You had to come up with this, and you had to come up with this in order for it to work. However, now you don't have to do that. Half of the work is already done for you. So you're just applying the reverse box method the same way. Ivory, what do you got? Does the 3 have a negative? Which one? My final answer? Oh, it should. There you go. See, if I would have put that on Delta Math, I would have got it wrong. Right? Simple name. But that's why you check with Desmos, yes. Questions, anybody? And believe it or not, you, even in the restricted Desmos, you will have the opportunity to check yourself as well. So, again, there's no reason why you need full version of Desmos. You can do everything in regular Desmos. How do we feel? Can we move up and turn up the heat? Let's head over to level 2. They do get progressively more challenging, okay? So fill in the missing values to find the quotient of 2x cubed minus 7x squared minus 6x plus 21 divided by 2x plus 7. Okay, so now you're going to have to fill in some stuff. 2x minus 7. Writing it is imperative, everybody, right? Look at the last problem. I got it wrong because I missed a negative, and I would have gotten it wrong on an exam because of a negative. Be deliberate. Okay, we know that the highest term needs to go here using box method, right? So what times 2x will give me 2x cubed? That's just x squared. Fill in the rest. Negative 7x squared. Okay. Looking at this polynomial here, I know that the result has to be negative 7x squared. So then what could add to... So I already have negative 7x squared and 7x squared. What do I need? 0x squared. Okay? So then what times 2x will give me 0x squared? 0x's. Okay? And then this turns into 0x. Why am I writing it this way? So that I know how I'm falling with all of the polynomials from highest to lowest. Okay, I need 0x plus something to give me negative 6x. Well, then this has to be negative 6x. And then what times 2x will give me negative 6x? Negative 3. And then negative 3 times negative 7 gives me positive 21. So then my answer, if I don't want to put 0x, which we shouldn't be putting 0x, is x squared minus 3. I could have put that right over here. Someone asked me a question. Are we okay then? No, Leah, what do you got? No, someone asked me a question. What do you... I'm okay with it. If we're okay, then I'm okay. What? X squared minus 3? Same way as our last problems? Honey, what do you got?
So the difference between level 1 and level 2 is that now we're using both up and the side.
Yes, you'll have... Well, I mean, thankfully they give you it in the problem, right? You just have to write it in this time. So on Delta Math, you'll have to write it. Serena, what do you got? Oh, great question. Why did I put a 1 instead of a 0? Sorry, why didn't I put a 1 instead of a 0? Okay, let's just run with your idea. If I would have put x here, what would have been my outcome? X times 2, because technically this is the same as 1x. Yes? 1x times 2x would have given me 2x. If I would have combined these two, it would have given me negative 5x squared. Yes? Are we okay? Is that an okay response, or would you like me to go deeper? Okay. Just want to make sure. 0x, 0x. How do we feel then, everybody? Okay? All right. Let's move on to another one. I'm going to do this one again, talking through it, talking through the process, and then we'll do some catch and release ones with yourself. Okay. X plus 1 goes here. And I know that negative 4x to the 4 power needs to go up here. Okay? Well, what times x will give me negative 4x? That's negative 4x to the 3 power. All right, let's keep going. So then times 1, that gives you negative 4x to the 3 power. Okay, bless you. So check, this is done. I'm going to look at my, technically there is another term over here. Right? In this polynomial, which term is missing if we're going from least to, from greatest to least? X to the 3 power. Is there any x to the 3 power in this one? So then what technically, I could cancel, but what technically is written? 0x to the 3 power. That's our goal. Which is just 0. Right? Why am I saying it like this? I'm not trying to confuse you. I want you to notice that this plus this needs to give us 0x to the 3 power. Yes. So, again, negative 4x cubed, well, what that plus something needs to give me 0x to the 3 power. So that has to be 4x to the 3 power. Adding both of them together will give me 0x cubed, which is exactly what's not written up there. Quotations. A lot of innuendo here. Okay. Innuendo, that's hidden stuff. I'm alluding to this. If I was coming from x to the 4 power, what is the next term if we're going in sequential order? Or x to the 3 power, right? But do you see an x to the 3 power in this expression? No, you do not. So what is technically in there that is still mathematically built in? 0x to the 3 power. This plus this needs to give me 0x to the 3 power. Okay? All right, so what times x? So what times x will give me 4x cubed? That is 4x squared. 4x squared. Okay, so now we are done with this. Now we're looking for 5x squared. 4x squared plus something needs to give me 5x squared. That is just x squared. What times x will give me x squared? X. And this is x. Good. This is done. So I have x. And now we're looking at this term, 11x. We need how many more x's in order to make that work?
10.
So x times what gives me 10x? 10. Done. This is my answer. Negative 4x cubed plus 4x squared plus x plus 10. How do we feel, everybody? Oh, yes, Stefania. Yes, this one here is 4x cubed. All right, we ready to try one on our own? Okay, try this one. See what you think. Do we need more time, everybody? Okay. I think we're going to skip the last example in level 2 and we're going straight to level 3. Because we need to talk about level 3. Is everybody else excited for Wednesday? It's hoodie season!
Thursday and Friday.
It's hoodie season.
Oh,
But you can wear it today. And yes, the AC will still be in here if
That's when they're gonna do their roundabouts. They're gonna come inside. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I actually agree. I would suggest you come in as much dress code as possible.
And then put them on in here.
And yes, I'm in favor.
I've seen people walk around with
I'm cold. I can't learn if I have hypothermia.
Hypothermia goes when your body goes under 30 degrees. Be so for real.
It's a freaking hyperbole. Am I allowed to use that? Am I allowed to
Barely.
use that?
At least make it. At least bring it back to reality. All right, everybody. Here we go. So, again, you can verify this with the version of Desmos that you were given. Now, let's move on to level 3. In a perfect world, everything is beautiful. When we divide, for example, 25 divided by 5, we get a beautiful number. Just like this, we've been getting beautiful polynomials right as a result. However, everybody, life is not perfect. Neither is any example that you get. When we divide, what is a probable outcome? There's a remainder. Yes. How does that look like when we divide polynomials? Well, let's take a look. As of right now, look what Delta Math is telling you. That the last section will be used for remainders. So, in level 4, you won't be told remainders. You have to physically type in the letter R. That's just my little preface there. But let's work with what we have. We are told to divide 2x cubed plus 3x squared plus 2x plus 7. Okay? Well, let's take a look. I know that this has to be x plus 1, right? And that this first box here has to be the highest term, all right? Just like we've been doing it. 2x cubed. This has to be 2x squared. Yes, nothing abnormal. All right, let's keep going, filling it in. 2x squared. Okay, now I'm looking at this and the next term. Both this box and this box have to add up to 3x squared. So the only logical thing is this has to be an x squared. Okay, x times x will give me x squared. So I'm good. I'm chilling. And then this turns into x. Okay, looking at my next term, I need this plus this to give me 2x. Well, then this has to be x. What times x will give me x? That is a positive 1. And then this turns into 1. Okay? But we are done. We have escalated our polynomial as we've divided as much as we can. We have a remainder, right? Because this plus this has to give us my constant. So what number is that? So how does this look like when it comes to the answer? Well, we have to put this, right? Right? Whichever elementary teacher told you to disregard remainders is crazy to me. But my answer to this is 2x squared plus x plus 1 plus my remainder. Anybody want to take a guess what my remainder is? And if you say 6, you're wrong. What have we been doing, right? What has been the outcome? We have been dividing this by this. So then my answer for this is plus 6 divided by x plus 1. right? And for those of you who need conceptualizing, and how does this work? Okay. Let's do 20 divided by 3. How many times does 20 go into 3? Sorry, how many times does 3 go into 20? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. 6. So then it's 18 minus that is 2. Right? So then this doesn't work, so we have to bring in a 0 and then bring it down to 0, and we end up with this pattern, right? What is that really? 6 plus 0.6 is 2/3. 2, the remainder, divided by 3. That is the conceptual from elementary to polynomial division. Believe it or not, all we've been doing this entire time is making elementary concepts into Algebra 2 concepts, right? That's literally all we've been doing. Multiplying things, adding things, dividing things, right? So, again, my remainder divided by my divisor, whatever my divisor is. In this case, it was x plus 1. That's why this is my answer. Okay? Let's try one together, and then I will release you for an example. Okay. Fill in the missing values. 3x cubed plus 2x squared plus 3x plus 1 divided by 3x plus 1. Got it. Okay. 3x plus 1. This has to be 3x cubed. 3x times what gives me 3x cubed? That is x squared. Okay, then this is x squared. Let's take a look here. X squared plus what is going to give me x squared? 0. I can't add anything to it. If not, it goes too much. So this turns into 0x. What times 3x will give me 0x? 0. I can put 0x here. That's fine. No biggie. This turns into 0x. Let's look here. This plus this needs to give me 3x. So then this has to be 3x. And then 3x times what gives me 3x? It's plus 1. And then plus 1. For this one, coincidentally, is there a remainder? No, because this plus this needs to give me plus 1, but I already have it. Exactly. So it's just barbecue chicken from there. I was saying that all B-Day, and it was so fun. I freaking loved it. Not that I've seen that video before. It just came to mind during the lesson. I was just like, let me just start saying, let me bring this back. And it's just barbecue chicken from there. So here we go. My answer. X squared plus 1. I know it feels underwhelming, but you did everything the way you're supposed to. Right? I would ask questions if you're... Everybody got it, right, Mia? Right, Brooklyn? Yes, we understand it completely. I mean, I would ask. Stephanie, are you asking a question or just raising your hand? Okay. All right, try this one then. I don't know if there's a remainder or not. Try it. Is there a remainder for this? Question mark. I have no earthly idea, but I'm willing to give you 3 minutes to figure it out. I haven't done it. Could you let me try it first? Yes, that's right. But now what's my answer, right? I know. You're just gonna write it, and I know you're right. Right?
I don't know, all weekend I feel like
Mine popped up on your computers, but I got 4x cubed plus 3 plus 9 divided by 4x plus 1.
plus one, minus one.
Is it minus 1? Oops. See, I would have gotten that wrong. I would have been a YWA kid. Okay, how do we feel about level 3? All right, obviously what's probably going to be on the exam is level 4. Yeah. Yep. Okay, let's come back. Let's figure this out. So, here's the important part. Even if that term doesn't exist, for example, in my dividend, I have negative 2x squared plus 1. What term am I missing? Nope. I have x squared. I'm missing an x. Personally, everybody, so that you stay in order, I would include the 0x. So, let's do it. Okay, I know that this has to be negative 8x to the 4. The only way that this works, so what times negative 2x squared will give me negative 8x to the 4? That is 4x squared. 4x squared times 0x gives me 0x cubed, right? I still want to add the exponents. It's going to be helpful. Okay, and then this turns into 4x squared. Okay, remember, I need this and this to add up to whatever x cubed term that is. This is why I told you it's important for you to put the missing one. So then this has to be 6x cubed. Yes? Right? So then negative 2x squared times what will give me 6x cubed? That is negative 3x. Okay? This is 0x squared. This is negative 3x. Now I need this term, and this term to add up to give me 12x squared. Well, I have 4x's right there. I have 0x squared. So what do I need up there? 8x squareds. So negative 2x squared times what will give me 8x squared? That is negative 4. Okay, this turns into 0x. This turns into negative 4. What am I missing? I am missing negative 9x, and I am also missing a negative 9. Well, we know that this plus this needs to give me negative 9x squared. So this has to be negative 6x. And we know that this and this needs to add up to give me negative 9. So this is negative 5. This has to be my remainder. My remainder. It must be my remainder. Because there's nothing else to multiply, is there? Right? Or there's nothing else to divide. Mia, yes? Based on the order of polynomials, yes. Because we're going from greatest to least. Right? Or greatest to constant. Okay? So then, here's what needs to be written. This is my answer. So 4x squared minus 3x minus 4 plus, what's my remainder? Negative 6x minus 5 divided by negative 2x squared plus 1. And now, to ask yourself, Ms. Quinones, does that even work? Let's try it. We have nothing to do but to actually try it. This was on the left. Okay. Here we go. The division of negative 8x to the 4 power plus 6x cubed plus 12x squared minus 9x minus 9 divided by negative 2x squared plus 1. All right, you get a weird looking thing. Don't bother about the graph. Bother with what you got for your answer. They should be right on top of each other, right? 4x squared minus 3x minus 4 plus the division of negative 6x minus 5 divided by negative 2x squared plus 1. Physical evidence that I did everything correctly. Yes, how do we feel, everybody? I want to answer questions. I'm here to be as helpful as I can. I would ask them now. Tane. That was Mia's question, and the answer is yes, it does matter. For example, if we were missing it in the x squareds here, or we were missing it in the constant, I would put the 0 here. Right? It does matter. But in this case, since we were missing x in our dividend, it matters that I put the 0 right there.
Oh, Miss Cannon, so the lines don't need to match up?
They did match up.
Oh.
Wait,
Oh.
I thought they were like.
I mean, it's weird looking, you know.
I see.
But they do match up. What's up?
Wait, can you explain why you put the X zero there?
Okay, no worries. That's fine. If I don't put the 0x, then the rest of the polynomials might be mix and match, right? I can't see, for example, if I had put plus 1 here, you would have had no x cubes to add up together, or they'd be in different places, right? But here, if you put the 0x, it allows you to see all of the terms, right? So you can see your quartic, you can see your cubic, your quadratic, your linear, and your constants in descending order. If I would have put the plus 1 here, they would have been all over the place and you have to keep looking for things that they add up.
Because the dividend starts with 2x.
2x squared, not your regular x. Yeah. And then there's no linear term, so we add a linear term, but it's 0. Does that answer your question? Fantastic. Can I answer any other questions? Great questions, everybody. All right. Let's try this one ourselves. Here we go. Oh, let's do this together. So this has to be x squared plus 2x plus 4. And the first term has to be negative 3x to the 4. Then this means that the top one has to be negative 3x squared. Yes? Okay, let's fill in the rest of the box. Negative 6x cubed, negative 12x squared. So we are officially done with our quartic. We're done. Okay, now let's move on to our cubic function. This one and this one need to add up to negative 3x cubed. The only thing that can fill into this box is 3x cubed. Yes? Okay, what times x squared will give me 3x cubed? That is 3x. Okay, so let's fill in the rest of the box. 6x squared, 12x. Okay, good. We are done with our cubic. Let us move on to our quadratic. So this, and this need to add up to negative 7x squared. Well, let's take a look. I have negative 12x squared. I also have 6x squared. I need something when they all combine to give me negative 7x squared. Then this means this has to be negative x squared. Right? Because negative 12 plus 6 gives me negative 6. And then adding another negative will give me negative 7x squared. So then, what times x squared will give me negative x squared? Negative 1. So let's keep going. Negative 2x minus 4. Good, we're done with our quadratic. Now we need our linear function. This, and that needs to give us 0x. Do we see why?
Yes.
Because there is no linear term, right? But they have to add up to give me 0x. So I have 12x, negative 2x. This must be negative 10x. So this is my remainder. Right, now I need to focus on my my constant. It has to be negative 7, so what's the only possible thing there? Negative 3. So then what's my answer here? Negative 3x squared plus 3x minus 1 plus my remainder, which is negative 10x minus 3 divided by x squared plus 2x plus 4. Ivory. Wait, say it again.
The remainders, is it only going to be, like, will we only have remainders in level 4, or will we have something like level 1, 2, 3?
In this particular type, you'll have remainders in level 3, but they kind of are a little bit cleaner. These are a little bit more messy.
Okay, so we're not going to have remainders in 1 and 2.
Right, you won't have remainders of 1 and 2. That's just to give you practice on that principle. 1, 2 is to give you the practice on division. Once you get past that in clean numbers, then it starts getting more intense, like all my remainders and stuff, right? All right, I want you to, that works. Try this one. Find the division of 12x to the 4 plus 10x cubed minus 25x squared minus 26 minus 4 divided by negative 3x squared plus 2x plus 4. What a mouthful. So, I'll give you 3 minutes should be fine.
Is this how it's going to look on Delta?
It is absolutely going to look exactly like that. Like literally spit image. I literally just screenshot, put them in there. Oh no, I gotta water you. Oh, you're growing, yay. Another leaflet, yay. Oh no, it's all right, it might come up on your screens. Disregard it. I just want to work on it in case someone asks me for help. Did anybody else get a remainder?
No.
I didn't get a remainder. But again, I want to double check though, right? Because what's the point of doing all this work and seeing if you're confident? You got to be confident with it too. Oh, wait, let's do. Ah. All right, bless you. $12x to the 4 plus 10x cubed minus 25x squared minus 26x minus 4, all divided by negative 3x squared plus 2x plus 4. Okay, let's see what we get. Negative 4x squared minus 6x minus 1. Looks like we did it right. How do we feel, everybody? So I read to re-answer your question. Level 4 may or may not have a remainder. You got to be able to do the math to support it. Because in this case, we did not have a remainder. Okay? Would we like one more, or do we feel confident enough to begin delta math? Let's head over to delta math. Rest of the time is for you to work on your delta math assignment. Let's